Hello everyone, welcome back to another Block Bro video, and today we are going over the final update for Chapter 8, Season 2. Now this update is incredibly small. There's not a new POI, well, incredibly small. It's an update to the map. So it's not like storyline update. It's pretty much free sailing. We already know we have all the build up for the finale event for this season. And the finale event is May 7th. I'm very, very excited for that. There will be a teaser for Chapter 8, Season 3 at some point, probably tomorrow. Um, so yeah, just so you're aware, it's coming up fast. Next season is probably the biggest story season of this chapter, and it's also the penultimate chapter of this season. So yeah, and then right after that we go into a 1 month long season before chapter 9, and then chapter 9 kind of starts off right after that, and yeah. Anyway, the update here is very simple. The team of 5 has come here. We have Giovanni, Singularity, Scarlet. There was a golden United Folk diamond here, but that's been removed because our wonderful Alexander and Lilith characters have abandoned the United Folk. So it's a bit of a betrayal. And then down here we have Johnson and Nexus, but we also have a little thing right here. Very, very important to the event. Actually, it's not very, very important. It's just, it's something that happens in the event. Very simple. And that is that it? Wait, I can't remember if that's it. I think that is it. Um, yeah. Anyway, um, with that being said, Chapter 8, Season 2 is technically fully completed here. There's nothing more to be done with this season. And once we reach Season 3, oh boy. Season 3. That season is it's very big. There's going to be a mini movie. There's going to be 4 mini movies. No, 5, which is going to be like every other week. And I would like to just sort of reveal it that there's a little bit of a analog horror style that I'm going to go for with that with this next season. That does not mean the theme of the season is not that whatsoever, but it does kind of do extra world building for the big bad of this chapter. And the United Folk, I think I've explained this before, are not the main villains of this chapter. They are the secondary villains, just like how in Chapter 7, Season 5, there was the Foreman, which was still interconnected with the main villain, but not necessarily, he wasn't the main villain of that chapter. There was Null, and Null eventually sort of switched up and became good, but now she's dead, so wah wah. But Season 3 is the full introduction to the very big primary villain of the Chapter 8 story. And it is probably the most powerful foe, other than Mesmer and Zero, that has been faced in the entire story. It is quite literally described as a demon in the story, in the quests. It is a demon from beyond time and space itself. So, maybe hinting towards the Abyss and the Abyssal Serpent still playing a role. It is not dead. It was just returned from whence it came, back into the Abyss in the Chapter 7 finale. But, with that being said, I would also like to go over a little bit of Chapter 9 general. Chapter 9 in general is right on the point of being done. Chapter 9 season 1. Sorry. That does not include the mini season before it, the 1 month long one. that one is going to be quick to do, so I've kind of taken a breather on that for a moment. But Chapter 9, Season 1 is very, 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 very close to being completed. And I would like to just sort of... It's hyper detailed. It's a map and story that has almost years worth of effort put into it, and it's also... I'm gonna... Oh, wait. Yeah, I am going to reveal the length of the chapter day one, but that's not here yet. We don't do that yet. Um, it is longer than this chapter, and it is a fairly long chapter. It's still a year though. Every chapter is a year, and then right after that we go into chapter 10, which is the final chapter of the entire story. So that's kind of that's crazy. Um, but anyway, I'm very excited for chapter 9 just because it is such a hyper detailed map to the extreme where it's like you it even though it is large, it's the largest map I'm going to make, but even though like it is pretty similar in size to the chapter 8 map, because of the way it's built with the verticality of the map, it feels so much larger than it actually is. Um, but the biomes are wonderful. There's 20 of them, and I'm very close. I think I'm on my 12th biome, 13th. Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm on my 12th, I think, or 13th. Wow, I could just check. Anyway, it's very close to being done. There there are some aspects that are unfinished. In particular, the city of the map is unfinished. I'm deciding if I wanted to do a tutorial series on that before the season comes out. It wouldn't really affect much. It's fine either way, but like I'm trying to decide if that's something I want to do. It might be something I do. I think it'd be cool just given the style, but I also don't want to give away the theme of the season for chapter 9 too early because it is the theme I'm best at, like architecturally wise. It is something I'm very familiar with and am able to do very quickly without really a large amount of burnout in between. But it also has multiple other themes of architecture kind of pushed within the main theme. And then chapter 10, that's just a lot of stuff that I really have wanted to do ever since the start of my story. So yeah, not gonna go in depth because that would be called spoilers, but it doesn't really matter architectural style wise. But I do want it to be a surprise. Um, Typically the architecture doesn't really spoil the story ever, but it isn't something I enjoy sort of going over and then suddenly being like, or going over early. That's not something I like doing. For chapter 8, that was something I hid very well up until the point where the theme was revealed, with it being kind of South American alongside West Coast themed, which is, I think I did pretty well. But all these themes of like stories and like, or all the themes architecturally within my story really don't imply much with the actual story. It just kind of is supposed to give off a certain vibe. Um, so yeah, it's simple work, nothing too much. Anyway, I do believe that is about it. So yeah, you may be wondering why I'm coming here to the central part of the island. Well, anyway, if you like this video, please unsubscribe. Goodbye.